Hello, my beautiful boyfriends and girlfriends. I am very happy to see every single one of your faces here today. We are going to be going over Soul Eater. It's something that I just recently picked up. I know it's a little bit old. It came out a year before I was born, so I really wasn't expecting too much, but I was hearing great things about it. But if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button, turn on post notifications. I upload on every single Monday, so, show a nigga some love, man. But I don't got nothing else. Enjoy the video. So boom, the anime starts off with our two main characters, Maka and Soul, fighting Jack the Ripper. Now I'm going to give you a brief rundown of how everything works. There are two types of people in the show. Maka is the Meister and Soul is the weapon. People like Soul can transform into the weapon and the Meister uses the weapon. My explanation probably sucked, but if you wanted a real explanation, you should go watch the show. Hold on, peep game real quick. Maka double parries and starts chasing his ass. Then we get a screen full of cheeks. Like, if I'm not mistaken, this guy is supposed to be Jack the Ripper. People always show Jack the Ripper as like this intimidating, mysterious ass nigga. This dude got his whole cheeks out, bro. He scales the building, jumps down, Maka dodges the attack, but now she's cornered. She escapes the corner, she throws the scythe off the ground, it bounces up and hits the nigga in his head, then she just starts freestyling on him. Maka was genuinely frying this dude, bro. So now they find themselves on the stairs, she kicks him off balance, and then she somehow gets him in the air. While he's midair, he can't really do anything, so Maka just one-shots him. Now this soul right here is special because this is the 99th soul, and now they only need one more soul to make Soul, the guy's soul, into a death scythe. But you see, the thing is that they aren't gonna have to fight some random other evil soul. They have to go and fight a witch. So they go to call up Death to report the progress, and this is basically how the conversation goes. Yo, it's me, Mr. Death. How y'all doing, my nigga and nigga-let? So what you're telling me is that you got 99 souls, so you only gotta get one more witch? For sure. Alright, go ahead and handle that. Or, something like that, I guess. Once they find the witch, Soul just busts through the bathroom window. So obviously he's gonna get his ass blown up. Like, that's really the only option he had. So she blows Soul and Maka to smithereens. That's the first attempt. We're gonna skip the second attempt because she didn't really do shit. And on the third attempt, she found them hiding in the woods and blew them niggas up. And it didn't take them until the fourth attempt that they actually got to fight her. While they're fighting, Blair is trying to get in Maka's head by talking that shit, and Maka is just letting it happen. So Soul's like, hey, my nigga, you better chill out before we die. So right now Maka is pissed because Blair won't stop talking. Maka goes up for an attack and Blair just somehow disappears out of the way. So Death and Maka's pops are just watching this entire thing play out, and Maka's pops is literally about to go and help his daughter because she's getting her ass beat right now. But Death tells him not to because there's something fishy about the witch, I guess. While Maka is using Soul to hang off the side of a roof, Soul decides to switch back to his human form because he has a plan. First off, the plan consists of dropping Maka from the roof, walking over to Blair, and then convincing Blair that he doesn't want to be with Maka anymore. And then as soon as Blair starts to believe him, he transforms back into a scythe and Maka slimes her ass out. Now this means that they have completed their goal. See, the problem is that as soon as Soul eats Blair's soul, Soul immediately realizes that there's something wrong with Blair's soul. See what I did there? So the thing is that Blair actually wasn't a witch at all. She was just a random fucking cat that had magic abilities. And now since they messed up the entire ritual, that means that they have to start off from 0 eggs. So they have to restart and get 99 evil souls and then another witch. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going over the best character in the series. The star that shines so brightly that nobody can even compare in its radiance.
Yo, get off that nigga dick, bro. What is you doing?
This is the GOAT Black Star. Now, Black Star was given a mission to assassinate a mafia boss and all of his mafia members. But the mafia guys went to go take out this witch. And the witch had a guardian. So by the time Black Star and his girl pulled up, everybody was just dead. So that means that this one nigga took out 100 other niggas by himself. So when old boy pulls up, he immediately tries to take Black Star's head off. And this dude looks like your average run-of-the-mill, emo, edgy dude. Definitely a nigga I would avoid, but you know. But you see, Black Star ain't never gonna dodge no once. Black Star will always get with a nigga, remember that. But this dude, he's not playing around either. He takes a casing full of swords and he throws them all around the environment, so now old boy just has infinite swords around to use. I'm just imagining him walking around in pure silence after sliming out like 100 people and picking up every individual sword and putting it back in. My yapping.
Yeah! Yes!
Star uses the chain to disarm him and old boy just leaves the sword and goes and gets another one. And now I can understand the method. This part right here might actually be the most disrespectful shit I've ever seen. So first off, Star gets kicked against the wall, so now he's cornered. This is not a good spot to be in. So he decides to throw his shuriken, which is in fact a big ass shuriken that his girl can transform into. So he throws the shuriken and it's just flying right to him. You're thinking that he's just gonna dodge it or something, but no. He jumps up, sticks the sword through the hole of the flying shuriken and stands on the sword and just starts ore farming. This is the day you never would have saw me again. In fact, you might have saw me in the back of McDonald's flipping them patties, but you will never see me at this job again. Oh no, no, no. Girl uses a smoke bomb to help Star get a better angle up top, but he announces his sneak attack, which doesn't really make it a sneak attack. Then he gets clobbered in the stomach with the back of the sword, which is really what he gets for announcing his sneak attack. Like, that was just dumb. Now right here, Star decides to lock in, and this was one of the best lock-ins I've ever seen in my life. This even rivals Zenitsu, you know, Arthur. This rivals some of the most goated lock-ins I've ever seen. So these two just start circling each other very, very slowly, one waiting for the other to make a move. And then out of nowhere, Star's body just begins turning into old girl. And then he realizes that something ain't right. He turns around, but it was already too late. And then Black Star hits this nigga with the meanest. I don't even know what he just did, but that shit was so raw. Pause. Now, since the witch is not some grown-ass woman or some old-ass lady, it's this little-ass kid, so they just decide to leave the kid alone and they just say, you know what, fuck it, we'll go ahead and get our shit somewhere else. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will be meeting the second coldest character in the anime, only second to the GOAT Black Star. Everything about this man must be absolutely perfect. The one, the only nigga that holds his guns upside down and shoots with his pinkies, Death the Kid. Now, Kid might be tough, he might be raw, he might be cool as hell, but he be pissing me off, and the reason being his obsession with symmetry. Now, I would call myself a pretty organized guy. Like, my homeboy E, he was literally just making fun of me because every one of my files are perfectly organized. I know where everything is. But this guy, he takes symmetry and organization to a whole new level. Oh, and also I should mention that Death the Kid's dad is like Death. So anyways, he calls up his dad and his dad gives him a mission to go to this temple where a necromancer is doing whatever the fuck a necromancer does. So while they're exploring the pyramid, Kid realizes that he left the painting in his living room 14 degrees too far to the right. So you know what he does? Instead of waiting until he gets home, he just leaves the two girls and just goes all the way back home. Nigga didn't even say nothing. He just left a note. So while the girls are waiting for Kid to get back, the necromancer keeps on sending her minions at him, blah, blah, blah. And then the pharaoh behind her wakes up for no reason and just slimes her ass out. So then the two girls just so happen to stumble across the pharaoh's tomb. Now, while the girls are waiting on Kid to get back, they end up getting captured because the pharaoh just decided to take him hostage. But hold on, time out, cause we got a nigga in the show. They gave him cornrows, a head covering. Surprised they didn't give him a Dewey. But y'all know how rare it is to see a nigga in anime nowadays, so this is cool to see. So Kid finally comes back to the pyramid and he just walks right into his girls being tied up and he's not ready to go for all that. So he gets them free and now he's ready to fuck this nigga up. Patty and her sister already know what time it is. They immediately transform into the gun mode. But you see, there's one itsy bitsy problem. Y'all know how Kid is obsessed with symmetry? Yeah, so it just so happens that the pharaoh's tomb is perfectly symmetrical. So now the pharaoh is just beating his ass and Kid is doing absolutely nothing to stop it. He got stabbed in the chest and he's just gonna sit there. He's getting pounded. Pause. And he's just gonna sit there. But the pharaoh made one fatal mistake. He comes out of his tomb to deliver the final blow for some reason, and he is just all types of asymmetrical. This nigga chopped his I don't know what. And then Kid just gives him that look. Never a nigga look at you like this, just roll over and die. Because Kid genuinely starts lighting this nigga up in a way I've never seen before. At this point, I was just convinced he was just shooting until he blew a hole in the side of the pyramid. So one day while Soul and Maka are in class, Soul just drops a bomb that the nigga we saw earlier, the teacher we saw, he got slimed out and turned into a zombie. Why? And mind you, this all happened within one episode. These episodes were like back to back. We just saw him perfectly fine and then the next day he's a zombie. Now since Soul, Maka, Black Star, and his girl have a soul collection total of 0, Death sends them on a mission to go and take out Sid and the guy who made Sid a zombie. Now strangely, Sid's weapon of choice was his own tombstone. He tries to hit Maka with it, but Black Star chains it up. And then Black Star hits this nigga with the meanest flying kick I've ever seen in my life. Jesus Christ. Look at the force on that kick. This nigga genuinely got shockwaves coming out of your back. He blew your back out. Then Blackstar throws that weak ass shuriken that never works. Sid jumps up off of it, uses it as a trampoline to hit Maka with the most egregious ground pound in the show, only for Maka to dodge it by a hair. And then look at this absolute bullshit Maka just produced. Maka somehow generates enough force from that position to kick this grown man fully off of his feet and into the ground. And then Maka and Soul randomly decide to lock in and synchronize their souls so they can create this gigantic energy scythe that would literally one-shot the nigga if Maka hadn't completely fucking airballed it. And since Maka had lost her footing, Sid takes advantage of it and tries to catch her off guard. But you know the GOAT Blackstar had to come in and save the day. And Blackstar has yet again another lock-in moment. Sid goes underground and they can't follow him down there, so they're just at his mercy. That's when Blackstar just decides to bust out this move I've never seen before. I'm not sure if he uses it again in the show since I'm only on like episode 8. I literally watched enough just to make this video, so it's okay. I'm gonna finish it like later. But anyways, as soon as Sid pops out of the ground, Blackstar captures him in his trap, and now they have completed part 1 of the mission. Now capturing Sid wasn't crazy difficult, but the next guy is gonna be a little bit trickier. So now this group of 4 kids have to fight Frankenstein, or Dr. Stein. I call him Frankenstein because he got that fat ass screw in his head. Hold on, wait a goddamn minute. Those stitches look real familiar. Now I hope you not who I think you are, because if you are, I got a bone to pick with you. Now I'm gonna keep it 100. This wasn't even a fight. This was really a beatdown. They were just getting their asses beat the entire time. They barely landed a good hit on him. And then this freaky face ass nigga grabs my queen and then lifts her shirt up and then proceeds to make an incision drawing on her stomach. Now Star is watching this and he's like, I can't let this shit happen. So he hits that nigga with the meanest. This the 3rd time Blackstar done blew a nigga back out. Might have to check the closet for this nigga. Now somehow, someway, this attack was entirely ineffective. It worked on the last guy, he kicked the shit out of Sid, but this nigga is just invincible apparently. And then Dr. Stein hits a mean flash step and then proceeds to fry this nigga's brain for like 30 seconds. This scene went on for so long. I don't know how he even survived that. Dr. Stein fried this nigga for so long, I genuinely thought he just died right there. Now, since Soul and Maka also think Dr. Stein just slimed out their homeboy, they obviously lock in because they not really let that slide. They charge up a mean ass final attack just for this nigga to stare at it without blinking at all and completely shattering the scythe. While Maka is literally crawling on the ground fearing for her life, old boy just says that this entire thing was planned out and it was a test. That would have been the day that I dropped out. Oh yeah, and also this isn't makeup. Sid is like genuinely a zombie. We still don't know how that happened. Nigga just died randomly one day and got turned into a zombie. Like the fuck? The one nigga? Ladies and gentlemen, we are now here at the finale of the video. Soul and Blackstar versus Death the Kid. I'm pretty sure when you clicked on this video, you were gonna hope that I was gonna go over it, and I am. So here, peep game, first attack. Kid comes in with the flying axe kick that gets blocked by Blackstar. Soul tries to sneak him, but he gets his shit blown out. Now, of course, Kid doesn't use regular guns, so he's not gonna shoot regular bullets that'll kill him. But I'm pretty sure it did hurt. Now, these two niggas can't even get relatively close to Kid. These two have an entire romantic reunion, and then they just get their shit blown out. Yeah, this isn't even a fight. This is just a pure ass beating. This is pure bag work right here. They was really showing how overpowered this man was on episode 6. They literally couldn't even touch him. And then the shit got so bad to the point where Kid literally said, okay, I'm done playing with y'all. I'm really about to slime y'all out now. Nigga was genuinely about to pop his ult. And look at these fucking buffoons right here, bro. They don't know what they finna get hit with, but they about to get hit with something nice. I'm gonna tell you that. The second I saw this nigga's actual aura projecting out of his body, I literally would have been the opposite way in an instant. You would never see me again. But since these two are so confident that they can tank his ult, they just sit there. Now maybe there was a slight chance that Blackstar had like some type of ninja parry that he would parry the explosion with. No, I don't know why they thought they could tank that shit, but this is the end of the video. Whenever this video goes up, this will make the 6-week streak, and in my opinion, I think that's pretty good, even though I only upload once a week. But if y'all know me, y'all know that I used to upload like once every single day, bro. That shit used to be so terrible. But I'm actually very happy that I got to, you know, keep a consistent upload schedule, keep y'all coming back because y'all obviously love me so much. But I'm kind of yapping. I really want this video to be 15 minutes, but I don't got nothing, you feel me? So I guess I'm gonna just let this play out until it hits 15 minutes. So yeah, I hope you have a good day, you know. Hope you get to see your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you're into. cousin. I don't know. With all seriousness, we're approaching the 15-minute mark, so I love you. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic week. I love you. Mwah.